Blog Talk Radio.
He is the last of his kind. All that remains of a once powerful nation. Some think he is a myth. Some believe he is the chosen one, who will bring balance to a world at war. And some will stop at nothing to destroy him.
Welcome, everybody, to Moorish Talk Live 100. I'm your host, Tarhaka Black, and this evening, my special guest will be Diallo Sekou. We're going to be talking about growing your own food. It's just a part of what we're going to be discussing today. There's quite a bit of information that we're going to be relaying to you. So what I suggest you do before we start is get your paper and pencil ready so that you can write down this stuff, because we're going to be dropping some very, very important information. But before we do, we're going to take a quick break, get all the commercials out the way, and we come back, make sure you got pencil and paper, and then we'll be ready to go into the broadcast. Okay? All right. Y'all hold on a minute.
Okay, everybody, listen up. If you have been served with papers for foreclosure, or if you are already in court fighting foreclosure, call Tarhaka Bay at area code 904-303-9061 for the foreclosure killer. You can visit our website at www.newdebtelimination.com. You don't have to lose your home. Call Tarhaka 904-303-9061 before 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stop foreclosure dead in its tracks. Okay? One more time. Our foreclosure killer package not only comes along with the necessary documents that you need, but also your very own personal coach to walk you through the process of saving your home. If you've been foreclosed on already, or if you've received documents stating that you'll be foreclosed on, or if you are already in the court fighting a foreclosure, contact Tarhaka Bay 904-303-9061. Also visit our website at www.newdebtelimination.com. Stop foreclosure on your property. Let's stop this unlawful practice. Contact me, 904-303-9061, before 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.
All right. Now, we're going to give you just a little more time, because the information that we're going to relay to you this evening is so valuable. It is extremely important for you to have paper and pencil so you can take notes on this thing. Keep in mind, the number to dial into this broadcast is 310-982-4184. One more time, 310-982-4184. When you have something to say, the phone lines will be open, but in the meantime, I need you to get your paper and pencil handy so we'll be ready to go, okay? All right. So y'all hold on a second, and we'll be ready to go.
Get out on this dance floor.
everybody. We're ready to go. It appears that my guests have arrived, so I'm going to open up the phone line. Area code 706. You're on the air. Brother Diallo, you with us?
I'm here. What's going on, brother?
All right, man. We're ready to rock and roll, man. I've been looking at the photographs. I've been over there to the site, and I know for a fact people over the United States want to know what's going on with all that production, man. And all the trees in the ground, the fruit trees. You got collard greens. You got moringa. You got all that, man. What's going on? How you get all that connected up like that, man? Let me have it, son.
Due diligence, man. We just been working hard for at least for the past 4 to 5 years in Jacksonville, remaining small in the grassroots efforts, trying to get people involved with the food security demonstration. We find that through agriculture, you can get a lot done. Agriculture is the first form of government. I even like to point out the first god of agriculture is Osiris, known as Asar, the green one, which represents transformation. And so through agriculture, we're going to get a lot of stuff done. Agriculture businesses, we're able to run programs through this agriculture thing, and becomes a platform for us to be able to speak about social issues, everyday life issues, right here in Jacksonville and abroad throughout the country. But as you said, we do have the moringa out there. We have spinach. We have we have carrots coming. A lot of stuff is just coming up because we just did our first planting a couple of weeks ago, and so right now it's like a wait to see which one is going to do right, which of the ones are doing right. And so right now we have the okra is doing fine. The okra is coming up strong. The arugula is coming up strong. The kale, the Russian kale, is coming up strong. And so right now we have a variety of things that we're growing, but after this, the second cycle, it'll be streamlined down to strictly cash crops, and some of the beds that are out there, at the Newtown Urban Farm will be strictly for the people in the community to come out and farm what it is they want to grow out there.
Okay, now when you say because this is a vast, in my opinion, this is a vast piece of ground to be putting such a large variety of food on. And what you're saying to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, that once this thing come on up, just right around the corner, just in harvest, that the people in the community will be able to come there and get fresh fruits and vegetables right there where you're growing them at. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's our hope to transform the entire area. So we just come in with getting the area prepped. We do have children that walk by, children that have seen us out there for several weeks now, and they come out and they join us. We have a volunteer day on Sundays. We're out there throughout the week watering and doing what we need to do, but generally Sundays for a communicative type of engagement for the area. And we have seniors that are come out. We're getting ready to, when you first enter into the farm section, we're going to make that like a handicap accessible. So it'll be a raised bed that'll be off the ground, about 2 to 3 feet off the ground, where somebody can roll in. Because when I volunteer, she's in a chair, though she uses a cane to walk in. She moves around in a chair. So she's one of the people thinking about our seniors, our elders that come out there, the vision keepers that come out and water on Monday and throughout the week. So it's a wraparound deal when it comes to the way that we're doing this urban farming.
Okay, so because what you're telling me is something that is seem to be pretty much phenomenal, because you're telling me that you not only have the children that's interested in what you're doing, but you have the elderly whether they are able to get around or not, that is actually participating in what's going on right there in their own community. And so, as far as your projections are concerned, how do you see the grocery stores in the area benefiting as a result of what you got going on? Do you see them having a loss of customers?
Well, the reason that Newtown Urban Farm exists is because there are no grocery stores in the area. And this is what makes that area a food desert. A food desert is when you can't walk 15 minutes and get or purchase fresh fruit and vegetables. And so that's a food desert. When you look at our children with the pants sagging down, some of them will tell you they want to look big. Some will tell you it's a style. Those children, those young boys, even the girls that are emulating these boys, are malnutrition. And so when you're malnutrition, man, you're on a defensive mode. And so it may come off as aggressive to people who don't understand what they're looking at. It's all dietary. When you look at our issues, outside our mental issues, it's dietary. The majority of the diseases that we're dealing with is dietary. I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be an expert, but I know what I know from my research and from the qualified people that have taught me and that still surround me to this day. So the grocery stores, at this point, what we're going to do, we have to fill in the spaces, and we're looking at creating a mobile market, outdoor market, as well as trying to bring in a chain, a grocery store that come in the area and that can supply people's needs. What happens is when those grocery stores come in and they send their people to come in and do the numbers or the statistics don't add up. The reason they don't add up is because you have a gas station, you have a Family Dollar, you have a General Dollar, and this is where you see people walking out with 3 and 4, 5 bags of grocery shopping at Family Dollar. And there's nothing but processed foods in there. There's nothing in there fresh. Everything is genetically modified. It's the second tier from a grocery store. And the grocery stores that do exist in a predominantly Moorish or African American community, their health food section, because of the education of the people that live in the area, their health food section is very small and doesn't have the what we'll call some of the state-of-the-art or popular vegan or vegetarian or alternative type of foods for the people that can help sustain their life. So the grocery stores are not necessarily our enemies, but we have to educate our people so they can educate those people in the grocery stores and get the right foods in there.
You're dead on point with that, because I happen to notice, and I learned a long time ago, that any grocery store in this country, you only have 72 hours worth of food on any grocery shelf. And one thing I know for a fact, the owners of the grocery stores, we have some type of collapse or something that goes wrong, regardless of what they're telling you on the news. The first thing that will happen is the owners and managers and supervisors, their family members will be the first people to come in and get the pickings of everything that's in there. And then after that, then what's left, we got these long lines of people that's going to run in there and try to get some food. But it seems to me, based on what I've seen, and I know for a fact, based on what I've seen it, that you got the best solution to the whole situation, because you're on the ground, you're actually growing it, and you have participation. What part does Edward Waters College play in what you're doing over on Pierce Street?
Edward Waters College plays a very important part. It is the oldest HBCU in the state of Florida. It was founded in 1866, the year after so-called slavery ended, on paperwork. We partnered with George Maxey, who's head of Newtown's Success Zone, which is an area the school is dedicated to basically doing what we want to do and getting programs and getting the community organized. We once before had the same area, but it didn't work out, so we're back now. And so it's a partnership that we have with Newtown Urban Zone, and that's why it's called Newtown Urban Farm. Newtown Success Zone is what they're called, but the farm is called Newtown Urban Farm. And so what happens is we also have the collegiate aspect that's taking place with the students and the professors that also play a role in the research and the data keeping that's taking place over in that farm. We also be doing some things with FAMU that'll be coming in and helping us with that as well. And so it's a huge to-do. I can tell you that it's the first of its kind. We're proud of it, and we're going to take it to a whole nother level in the aspect of agriculture and community involvement and engagement. And we're looking at potential entrepreneurship, which is one of the platforms when growing agriculture. We're dealing with agriculture on the level that we're dealing with.
Okay, now you have participants that come from the college that assist you in growing the crops, conditioning the soil, putting down the fertilizer and all this stuff right here. How's that program benefiting? Because the reason I'm asking you this because we have these type of colleges all over the United States with adjacent food deserts, and they may be able to do the same thing. So how does that work? How do y'all put that together?
How do we put which part together?
With the relationship between the people that are coming from the college that are actually assisting in the gardens along with the P community.
Yeah, that's you can get that credit to George Maxey. He's doing a great job as administrating the relationships, and me bringing in my partnership that I have under Urban Geoponics, our nonprofit, our 501c3. And so George Maxey kind of facilitates that part and bringing in the college students. You have people. Number one, you have people that want to deal with agriculture, and then they're coming from an educational standpoint, the collegiate point on how to tie in research and data, the growth and whatever type of research they're going to be doing in that area. And so with that, it just led on to FAMU, and I believe it's UNF are the only two type of universities or colleges they have. It's some I can't remember the name of it, that I want to say extension, maybe extension that deals with the agriculture piece. And so I wanted to deal with FAMU. I have anything is UNF. I deal with UNF on another level with one of our after school programs.
Okay. All right. Well, what I'm gonna do before we go down and start opening up the phone lines and stuff like that, I'm gonna take one little quick break, and when I come back, we'll be ready to go some more. Is that okay?
All right, let's do it.
All right. Y'all hold on a minute.
To go into a new year carrying the baggage of debt is no fun. Lucky for us, we are waking up to the fact that spring is the start of a new year. It always has been. So it stands to reason that we should get a head start right now on getting out of bad contracts like student loans, child support, mortgage, credit card, and the IRS. Go to www.newdebtelimination.com. That's www.newdebtelimination.com. Or call me, Tarhaka, 904-303-9061. 904-303-9061 before 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's get out of debt right now so we can have a wonderful spring. Peace.
You got an earpiece?
Okay, everybody, we back. What we're going to be doing is opening up the phone lines. If anybody have a question or comment, we're going to get down in nutrition, the benefits of what we're growing and all this stuff. If you have a question or comment for our guest, I will be opening up the phone line, okay? But y'all hold on for 1 second, and we'll be right back. Hold on. Do not go anywhere.
Ooh, baby. Mother Nature gave you all the right to a beautiful body, all wrapped up like new. And the clothes that you wear seems to fit you to a T. It's like you've been melted down and poured into those jeans. I said, ooh la la, I like what you got. Ooh la la, I like what you got. You're the best. You're better than the rest. Out of all those sexy ladies, honey, you stood the test. You're so sexy when you smile. Honey, I like your style. If I could spend one night with you, I would crawl a mile. I say, ooh la la, I like what you got. Ooh la la, I like what you got. Baby, 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 all I wanna do is treat you real nice and spend one night with you in paradise. Baby, do me right. I said, ooh la la, I like what you got. Ooh la la, I like what you got. It's just like Janet Jackson. Ain't nobody else in the world like you. You're like $2 million in a sack. Honey, you got back. Ooh la la, I like what you got. Ooh la la, I like what you got.
Anybody hear me?
And what we're going to be doing now is we want to open up the phone lines. If you have a question or comment for our guest, let it rip. The number to dial in is 310-982-4184. We appreciate your comments. If this broadcast is coming across just right, we good. If we got a problem with the audio, go ahead and raise your hand and let me know what you hear out there so that we can try to see if we can correct it on this end. Okay? 310-982-4184. Okay? That's the number to dial in. Press 1 on your phone. That'll let me know that you have something to say. And what we're trying to do is make sure that we got the audio coming across just right. All right? Okay. Now, Brother Diallo, you still with us?
I'm with you, baby.
All right. Tell me about kale, the nutrition, the moringa. What is the nutritional benefits? Because, see, if we got people that are out there, and we don't want people to think, well, okay, I'm growing my own food, and I've eaten that, and I ain't going to be healthy. because it don't come from the grocery store. What's your take on that, man?
Number one, kale is what people are now calling a superfood. It's a dark green leafy vegetable. In most parts, when you're dealing with a dark green leafy vegetable, you're dealing with foods that's high in iron, high in a lot of nutritional value for the body. The same thing with moringa powder, moringa leaves that we make it to moringa powder. It's a real superfood out of Asian Africa. We grow it right here in Jacksonville. We grow it in Miami. Grow it in South America. You can grow it in most subtropical and tropical areas. It has more iron per tablespoon than what they would say yogurt. It has more potassium than bananas. It's high in everything. It beats everything out per tablespoon. Moringa. But I would also just, because of the internet, you can just go on the internet, man, and just Google it. You want to know something, just Google it.
Okay. So the benefits of growing our own food and stuff, and this is just the way I see it. If I'm growing kale, or if I'm growing collard greens, if I'm growing mustard, if I'm growing squash, if I'm growing okra, if I'm growing field peas, if I'm growing corn, if I'm growing cantaloupe, watermelons, honeydew melons, peaches, plums, if I'm growing it, then in my opinion, the only thing that I need to do is make sure that what I'm growing is going to be healthy. And I don't have to spray any chemicals anything on anything because I'm right there. I'm looking at it. So I'm dealing with holistic right there. I don't need to go to school to take a course in holistic. Nothing. I mean, I'm growing it. I don't need to go and take a course about pesticides and none of that because I know what I'm putting in the ground. I'm going to protect the yard no matter what. So that's pretty much a given. Is this what you're saying?
No, I don't. Well, let me say this. There are a lot of free courses out here that I would recommend people take. The 4-H thing is an excellent thing in agriculture. If you don't have the time or if some courses cost money, you can always go to Google State or YouTube University. Do your due diligence. You can study. You can do the practicality to see what works and what don't works. If you want to get into the pH and carbon of soil, you can get into that. It's fun. It's educational because you're empowering yourself. You're basically becoming a chemist and a scientist at the same time when you deal with agriculture. And then, of course, you get into the economy when you start growing your food because now you're saving yourself money. And you also are automatically into what we call food security because a man that controls the food controls the people. And if you're dependent on the grocery store or any other market to supply you your food, you are dependent and you are in or under control. So I just ask that people take back a little bit of control. Grow you some plum trees. Get you some bananas. Get something growing. Whether it's a small pot, big pot. Join a club. Join us. Just start growing. That's why we created the Urban Geoponic page on Facebook so people can share what they were doing in their backyard, and we can come in, or some other experts can come in and talk about, give pointers on weeds, on gophers, or roaches, whatever's bothering you in your backyard. We just kind of kept it green. But Urban Geoponics is a nonprofit. It is expanded or far beyond just the agriculture. But on the agriculture part, man, it's important for our children to understand, and that's why we bring our children along in understanding how to grow food, because the growing the food aspect is also symbolic for growing yourself and prerequisite for being an activist, what I like to say. So you can come out and take care of a life plant. You can be able to do the same thing for yourself, for other things outside of yourself, which is your community. And so this is how I explain it to the Young Emperors Club and the Young Empresses Club that we have under the Kemetic Empire.
Okay, could you give us a little bit more detail on the Sankofa initiative?
All right. With the Sankofa initiative, the base and bottom line of it is economic security. When you look at our community, no matter where you go in the United States, we're not in control. Our face may be in the building, but we're not in control. There are other factions that are in control systemically and financially. And so economic security, we want to, within the Sankofa initiative, these are not anything that I've created, but I put it together, posted on our websites, and it stems from Dr. Amos Wilson, it stems from Dr. Claude Anderson, it stems from Dr. Chancellor Williams, and Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu, and some others. But those are the primary base figures from their research that we put the Sankofa initiative. The word Sankofa is a West African principle, which means it's okay to go back and get what you forgot and bring the good things forward. That's when you see the bird looking back, has an egg in his mouth. So the Sankofa initiative is creating communities, undoing the neighborhood aspect. And the neighborhoods came about through renters, and when the grandchildren or the children didn't go back to the home which they came from, that house that was paid for became property of the city, or it became a renter's haven. So when people are renters, they generally don't have a financial or mental investment in the property or in the area. It's something that they kind of just go along to get along. And so what we want to do is we want to create ownership. When you create ownership, that's responsibility. And so we want to bring families in, get them qualified, or we'll hold the mortgage for them. And so one of our first pieces of property that Dr. Nefertiti Abdullah, she just purchased directly across the street from me, her and a business partner. So what we'll do is we'll get a family that we know that wants that thinks the same line that we think, get them in there. That'll be their home. Then we purchase more homes on the same street, going down the way. We have our own private security, so now we control the block. We'll take that same thing and move it to the next street. We're doing what the city councils, what the mayors can't do, because the power always belongs to the people. It don't belong to politicians. It belongs to the people that live in that street, or people that's outside of that street that can see, they can take their finances and they can create an investment and change the entire area with partners. But it has to be done collectively. And by doing that, you're creating wealth. So if Dr. Abdullah, her business partner, other people come in, they purchase these homes, they get into the trust. These are things that they're leaving. These are legacies that they're creating for their children. So the Sankofa initiative also, it works in one particular area, not the entire city, one small area where we can see great results. And so we concentrate our programs, we concentrate our cultural activities. The Malcolm X Festival, which is this Saturday coming up. In June, we'll have Sankofa Saturdays coming back up. And then we just continue on with our efforts. We make sure that we're in contact with agencies that deal with nonprofits, agencies that are engaged in the area. And we basically don't do business as usual. We don't have the same partnerships everybody else has because we're self-funded. We fund ourselves with volunteer-based organization. It is financed through through donations. We've never had a grant or anything. So those are things that we're looking forward to getting. So that's what the Sankofa initiative is. When you look at Little China, when you look at Little Haiti, when you hear Little Italy, this is what we're creating. It's called the Sankofa District. And that's part of what the Sankofa initiative is. And we'll also be looking to lock down a 3,500 square foot commercial building on Kings Road soon, hopefully. And that'll be the first culture center in the city of Jacksonville. So we'll have a lot of resources. It'll be a haven for children late at night. If you're like me, you came up out that house when, you had the door key around your neck or in your pocket because mama was still working. And so, you had to make your bologna sandwiches and everything else as she came home from work. So what we want to do is make sure we got a safe place, a neutral zone, you don't touch none of these children. and they can all be a part of the Empress Club, which is the main program that we do for our children, so they have access to us for our entire lives, because we generally will outlive them. That's the hope. I mean, they'll generally outlive us, which is the hope. And that's basically what the Sankofa Initiative is. And getting people in, cleaning up the area, man, so we can bring businesses in, get the crime out, get the dope out, get the stupid shit out the area, man, so we can raise up our families and our businesses.
Okay, well, based on what you're telling me, it appears that you're already on automatic pilot. You got people in the hood that's excited about it. It's a community project, and one thing I know about people will do anything to gain a benefit, board or law. So if what you got going is designed to benefit the people right there where they are, because you done brought the mountain to Muhammad, I don't see no way where it could go wrong. If you keep on doing what you got going, you don't have to worry about a whole lot, because you're already doing what needs to be done. Now, when you mention community participation, and I already seen that. The photographs speak for themselves. Those of you who are on the computer and you're looking at the photographs, if you're on Facebook or whatever, we're going to be doing a video on this later on, so you can actually see the photograph of what we are seeing and the magnitude and the cooperation of what we are seeing. What we're trying to do is tell you that it doesn't matter what city or state you're in. Let's get this thing done, and let's show or demonstrate the real power of the people. So my question to you at this point is, based on your experience and how long you've been doing this and what you're doing, what is the feedback of the people in the community? What are they saying about what you're doing?
The feedback is good. The feedback is positive. The people are excited. We just happy, man. We happy. I'm always happy as long as I'm working towards my goal. Personally, I'm ecstatic when collectively a group of us, small group of us, can work towards a bigger goal and objective. It's powerful to us because generally our community don't really want to look at health, and the fact is we're some of the unhealthiest people in the country. The number one death of us is heart disease, and you don't get that from working all day and night. You get that from eating wrong. You understand? We talk about hypertension and diabetes. You don't get that from work and family. You get that from your diet, man. Some of the stuff is hereditary, but that was hereditary through the diet. So we want to make agriculture sexy, fun, cool. It's hard to do that with adults. So my love and a lot of my attention is for our children, because most of these people have lived a full life, and they're going to be where they're going to be mentally. But it's never too late to grab these 5, these 3, these 2-year-olds and bring them along in agriculture, business, community, giving back, sacrifice, owning your own businesses. This is the only way that our children are going to be able to compete internationally in the world, and having a full understanding of food and the power of food, the power of economics, the power of giving back, the power within sacrifice. This is through the agriculture, man. It's not through the political office, the whole nine. And so this is what the community is seeing. We have great conversations on Sundays, for those who can talk when it's hot, because it's hot out there. So we try to get in and get it out. But we have a great deal of we have some very powerful volunteers, man, young and old, that come out and put in work with us. And we wouldn't be anything without the people that help us volunteer out there with us on Sundays. The people that volunteer so we can keep things like the Malcolm X Festival going on the second year, keep that alive through their donations, through the marketing. Because, man, the truth is, all this is for our children. We can benefit, and we will benefit. That third of an acre will be able to make at least $80,000 to $100,000 by next year. If we, depending on what type of pace we're going on this year, it should be a six-figure thing. And then people figure out, well, how you making six figures? Well, we told you 3 or 4 years ago how we're able to make six figures. Per square inch of that area should be about $30 to $40. The majority of that ground at Newtown Urban Farm will be covered in food, and that food will be sold through our partnership with private chefs, private restaurants, and from us moving it through our mobile market and open market. So we shift the paradigm. The whole deal is we shift the paradigm on that corner of 3rd and Pierce, and then those houses eventually will go out. We'll do our door-to-door. Generally, we don't have to do door-to-door because they see what's going on, but it has to be an inviting atmosphere, man. People tend to not want to get engaged because then it looks like, Jacksonville real funny, but we don't like out-of-towners. Shit. We don't even like a nigga from across town coming in. So we got to be like, boy, I know your mama now. I know your auntie, your little son. Come on out there and do something with us. That's Jacksonville. So we're excited about it, man. The people have been giving us praise every day. I'm out there. They give us a shout out. Somebody ride by, gives up. Boy, it's looking good. Boy, I like that. Boy, but they ain't gonna come do nothing. But I appreciate it. we feel like we're on the right path.
All right, my brother. Okay. I know exactly what you're talking about. And for those of you who do not live in Jacksonville, Florida, this town was coined quite a while back is the Banger. When somebody tell me, we're going to Jacksonville, Florida, we come to Jacksonville, Florida, what's going on here, man? First thing I tell them, hey, man, welcome to the Banger. Because down up in here is concrete, steel, and everything else. Is not as hard as you think. We got beautiful weather. We got wonderful people. But what we're going to have to do is somebody ain't going to have to drive a stake. And in my opinion, you have just driven the best stake that I've ever seen, even though I've seen brothers and sisters across the city. They had little plants and stuff in the pots and they're growing a little small garden and stuff. But you're talking about the unification of a system that will not only get you paid, but make sure that you are able to enjoy the wealth because of good health. Now, to me, it don't matter how much money you got. If you're in poor health, you ain't got nothing. So, and what I want to ask you now is, even though I know the answer, I want you to go ahead and lay it out for the folks. In the next 5 years, how do you see the people in the path of growth that you're expanding benefiting? How do you see that? What kind of picture, what kind of Rembrandt are you going to paint for us with what you're doing?
I like that Rembrandt, being that I do paint. I like that. That's a good analogy there, brother. The next 5 years will be a slow process, which is, we ain't rushing into anything. We expect to have people come, and we expect to have people go, because we work hard and we're aggressive at it. Why? Because there's nothing that's been taking place. And so people tend to fall off. And remember, we're based off volunteership. So we expect to, there's an initiative that we're writing right now for our district, District 8, District 7, in agriculture and urban farming initiative. See, we have to affect every level in our city the same way they did in the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. You had some who sat in the boardrooms. You had some who ran the streets. And then you had those who did something else I can't remember. But you had like the Urban League, NAACP, SCLC. Those three groups were separate, but they had a purpose when they worked together as a group. So our purpose is we have to affect policy, local policy, when it comes to what needs to take place in our area. We have to affect our area ourselves and putting pressure on the policymakers to do what we see fit, what needs to be done, because they don't have a freaking clue. If they did, the North Side would not look like it looked and would not have stayed the way it stayed for the last 50 to 60 years. There would have been growth. There would have been an infrastructure. There would have been more jobs, less deaths and murder taking place on the North Side. So we got to affect change on the streets and in the policy areas. And we definitely got to make sure that our children are empowered with information, man. Not only just the information, but the men. We have to make sure that we wrap our arms around our children, the boys and the girls, because we understand that the village is broken. We also understand that the village doesn't have enough resources to put it back together. So what we have to do is work with what we got and make that shit work. Excuse my language. You got to make it work. We can't keep coming up with excuses. We can't be reactionary. We have to move forward with our proactive approaches. Next 5 years, new policies that'll be using the term urban geoponics, urban farms, body cameras, everything that will be in the support and in empowering and changing the dietary, the mindset, the economic change for the people in our community. And this is all hopefully, I'm not sure we're recreating the wheel, but if we are, nobody step forward, so we just move forward with it.
Okay. All right. Well, what I'm going to do, brother, before we go into the next phase, I'm going to take a little quick break, and when we come back, we'll be ready to go. Okay? Hold on, man.
All right. Read about the hidden. When you gonna bring some coffee?
All right, Moses, you ready? Okay. Now, what we're gonna discuss right now as we move forward into dealing with growing the food and stuff of this nature, we want to talk about how you, right where you are, can participate in what it's going to take for you to do what you got to do. In my opinion, if you are living in an apartment, all you have to do is get you some fruit and vegetables and stuff and put them in a pot. You can grow it right there on your front porch. You can put you some bell peppers there. You can put you some onions. You can put you some okra. You can put you some butter beans. You can put you some peas. You can grow that right there in a flower pot where you are. If you are in a dry district, and this is very, very important, if you live in a dry district, because where I live is a dry district. And what that means is at one point in time, and this is a label that I put on it based on my own personal experience, the area had been originally ravaged by termites. So what that means is you cannot be planting stuff in the ground and using excessive amounts of water to grow it. Because if you do, when it reaches the subterranean area, it's going to breed termites. So, if you live in such an area, what you want to do is you want to get pots. If you have to get large pots, if you're growing trees, you want to put you some large pots, put some small, very small holes in it, put all your nutrient soil and make sure that you put the soil in the pot from the hole that you have dug. That's very important. You can mix the soil up with your potting soil, your compost, and then you can plant what you got to plant. When you put the pot down in the hole, and you can water what you got to water from there to grow what you got to grow. And you may say, well, this seems to be a whole lot of work. But when you look at what we are faced with in the United States of America and other places on the earth, you will understand that it is very, very important for us to do what we have to do for our own survival. We're not talking about just making profits. We're not talking about just for the health of our family. We are talking about national survival. National survival. Now, the media is putting out a whole lot of information about you can do this, you can't do that, and all this. Well, we ain't got time to look at that. We're too busy doing what it's going to take in order to survive. And if you really understand the equation, it's a real simple equation. Any grocery store inside the United States only have approximately 72 hours worth of food in there. Your children don't care nothing about what you got to say about economics when they're hungry. They do not care about how high a price was at a store and you had to leave and go to another. They don't care nothing about that. All they know is I'm hungry and I want to eat. Therefore, and thus, we have to look at the basic structure of the society and life in general. Food, air, and water. We got to make sure that we have these things available so we won't miss a beat. And you have the full cooperation of you, not only your children, but your wife and everybody else. Everybody needs to be at this point right now. We've been preaching this gospel for 5 years. And better, grow your own food. It doesn't matter if you live in a rural area or if you are in a city, if you live in an apartment, there is no excuse. If you live in an apartment, go get you some pots. Get you some soil. Plant you some food to eat. And make sure that you are able to measure and calculate and count. If I got these many pots and I'm growing this, and I'm taking in the harvest, and we're able to eat this, how long? What is it that I need to do next in order to extend the time? Do I need to move? What I need to do? Where are my priorities? How many other people in the community that I need to encourage to do the same thing and show them what I know? Because what we're talking about here is something that does exist. It's happening here, and we are showing you, and we're going to be putting out the videos, and I'll be coming out with the videos to actually show you the footage live. Me and Brother Diallo, other brothers and sisters that are out there on the land, actually growing the food, and it's just a habit. Develop the right habit. I know a lot of us, I have this beautiful gown that been put out by with the Christian Dior. You know, I don't know a whole lot of that old stuff. Starbucks, and we're doing this over here. We're going to this restaurant over here and that. Hey, the jig is up. It's time for you to start taking personal responsibility for your own survival as a man or a woman inside the United States of America. That's just the bottom line. It's time now. We are in the year of the number 9. Now, you, for those of you who've seen my broadcast on 1320 verses 1260, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's time now. We got Obama on the way out the White House. We got some other folks coming in the White House. Attention to that, then you ought to know that it is time for you to start looking out for who? Number 1. The first law of nature is self-preservation. Food, air, and water supersedes law. It supersedes jail. It supersedes anything that you could possibly think of. Because if you don't have that right, anything else that you are trying to do is going to be a little bit shaky. Now, at this point, if someone have a question or comment, now's the time to raise your hand. The number to dial into the broadcast is 310-982-4184. Dial in. Press 1 on your phone. Open up the phone so you can get in. But this is very, very important. This supersedes anything that you've ever learned from me. We do wonderful. I talk to brothers and sisters every day about law, about the things that they're involved in. They're going to jail, they got their mortgage situations, child support, student loan, IRS. I do it every day. But this is the crowning pinnacle of everything. This is where your priorities need to be aligned with what we're talking about.
Powerful black state in North Africa had imperial ambitions of its own. By the 3rd century BC, its forces had crossed the Mediterranean and established a large province in Spain. The military commander of Carthage had apprehensions about his Roman neighbors and warned his son to keep a watchful eye.
Hannibal's father, he would point across the ocean and said, there's some evil people over there. We better bring the war to them before they bring it to us. Hannibal never forget.
Hannibal is only 26 when he takes charge of the army. He launches an audacious military adventure, leading his men and their elephants over the Pyrenees Mountains into France, then pointing them across the Alps boldly toward Rome itself. Heavy casualties, overextended supply lines, and defection of allies drive Hannibal off the soil of southern Europe. He retreats back home to Carthage.
The Romans have made a mission, almost a cult, out of the destruction of Carthage. They would meet each other in the morning. Good morning, Roman citizen. Carthage must be destroyed. Yes, of course, Roman citizen. Carthage must be destroyed.
Rome's legions clash with Hannibal near Zama. His troops are defeated. Hannibal is sent into exile. His once mighty nation becomes another colony of Rome and an administrative center for their empire.
Now, the Roman Empire internally was not very rich. Africa became the breadbasket for the Roman Empire. And except for Africa, the Roman Empire would not have been able to sustain itself. Now, the Roman presence in North Africa is going to force into being one of the great events in human history. Roman taxation, Roman oppression would cause people to turn to new gods and question old gods, to turn to a story about a God who comes forth to rescue them. Now, they would draw from African folklore the story of the child in the manger. Now, what am I saying? Later, in retrospect, he was referred to as Jesus Christ. Now, you can argue about the coloration of Christ if you want to, but I can sell that very quick and we can go on to the next subject. Was he a Roman? The answer is no. Was he a Greek? The answer is still no. These were the only European types in that part of the world at the time. If he was neither Roman or Greek, he was one of those other people. And all of those other people were non-European and non-white. And he came from the other people.
During that time of Roman dominance, Africans hold high military and administrative posts in the empire.
The Romans and the Greeks had no color prejudice comparable to the kind of prejudice we would know later on. Otherwise, why would 3 Africans become emperors of Rome? Why would there be 3 African popes? Finally, Constantine decided to make Christianity the religion of the whole of the Roman Empire. Now we're coming to the critical period when the Roman domination of the church so corrupted the church, the Africans began some disenchantment with the Roman interpretation of Christianity. Constantine calls a council of bishops and priests at a place called Nice, it's the Nicene Conference. It is at this conference that the European created a European concept of Christianity. It was at this conference that they began to take the African saints out of the literature of Christianity. Now the corruption had started. The physical concept of Jesus Christ did not exist. Now, how did it come into existence? Because the Pope commissioned it to come into existence. Michelangelo painted the picture using one of his relatives as model. And that picture, one of the finest pieces of propaganda ever projected in history, has changed the minds of millions of people as who's supposed to represent God, whoever he or she is. And I have no problem with the she. Spirituality is a way of accepting the fact that there is a spiritual force in the universe larger than all of mankind. But someone had to come along and invent a word called God. And someone had to say of another God and say, mine is better than yours. And someone had to create faith. Someone said, I have the true faith. Religion is the organization of spirituality into something that became the handmaiden of conquerors. Nearly all religions were brought to people and imposed on people by conquerors and used as the framework to control their minds. My main point here is that if you are the child of God and God is a part of you, then in your imagination, God's supposed to look like you. And when you accept a picture of the deity assigned to you by another people, you become the spiritual prisoners of that other people.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. John has brought us some very, very powerful information. If you notice, tonight we're talking about shaking up the firm, changing and making a different paradigm. We're talking about growing our own food. We're talking about taking all the food deserts all throughout Chicago, Detroit, New York, everywhere, California. It don't matter where they at. Hit the ground running. Got it? Area code 706, Brother Diallo. You still with us, man?
I'm with you, baby. It's live.
All right.
We live on Facebook, too.
Huh?
I say we live on Facebook also.
All right. Well, let it rip, man. Let it rip. So we got to get this out. This ain't no joke. I know you ain't playing. I done seen you in action. And I come by there and I see the dust kicking up and the food growing loud right here. I do, wait a minute, maybe I'm slipping. I need to tighten up.
Yeah, I see you doing something in the front yard. I see you doing a little something in the front yard now.
Yeah, well, I'm in the front yard because I ain't got no backyard. So I had to, wherever you at, it don't matter. You're in the front, the back, apartment, duplex, it don't matter where you at. I'm a firm believer. If I'm talking about it, I'm doing it. And when we get ready to put the videos out, we'll show the people what we're doing. And especially what you guys are doing over where you at. And we got some more folks across the country, throughout the city. We're going to be showing what they're doing, too. Because this ain't got nothing to do with ego.
Right.
This is about survival. It ain't no game. This is real. Because in order for you to live, you're going to have food, air, and water.
That's right.
That's the bottom line.
Food, clothing, and stuff. That's right.
Yeah. Then after that, then we get the government says food, clothing, and shelter. Now I say food, air, and water. That's the bottom line right there. So
we need that. We need that.
Yeah. Well, that's what we do.
That's right.
But anyway,
that's right.
I think it's time for you to start telling us about what's going to happen with the Malcolm X Day. Let us have it. What is this about? Give us the rundown.
The Malcolm X Festival, brother, is the brainchild, essentially, of a sister that passed away some time ago named Shadidi. Shadidi was the founder of the Kuumba Festival. And, she said to us, make sure it doesn't die. And so, we slipped like we do. And so I wanted to bring it back as the Malcolm X Festival. The first year we had a parade that led from the first park where the Kuumba Festival originally was at down to the new park, Simon Johnson Park. Simon Johnson Park. It's 3730 Moncrief Road. So this is in part of keeping Shadidi's legacy alive and also creating new legacies, making sure our children and our community understand who and what Malcolm X stood for, and also bringing in other principalities under the banner of El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, his real name. And let me say this real quick, because I know some people are like, yo, my man changed his name, But here's what Malcolm said himself about his name. He said, as long as the condition exists, why he calls himself Malcolm X, it was okay for us to call him Malcolm X. So in respect to the brother and his family's legacy, we still call him Malcolm, and we also call him, it's on the flyer, El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. What we had going on. First, to me, everything about the Malcolm X Festival is important. The first thing is Ngoma Thunder, the Drums of Thunder, headed by the master drummer Ryan Sinclair and his troupe, Ngoma Thunder. They will be doing the opening ceremony that starts at 10. We ask that people get their children out there, man, to be a part of beating the drums, saying the affirmations, honoring the ancestors. So that's important. Our DJ, we of course have music throughout the day. We ask people to bring your chairs, man, come out, chill out, just like you at the Funk Fest or some neighborhood gathering, high school reunion. Bring it because it's a family affair. We have family competitions. We have the kids corner where we have the chess. I'm personally this year I'll be manning the Monopoly board because I kick ass on it. I'm taking on all challenges. Monopoly. We also have the jumpy houses out there as well. So we have a few prizes, and this year we're going to crown a king and queen of the Malcolm X Festival. And their job, they will reign for an entire year through community activities, letting other children their age know. Our king and queens are going to be young. We're not going to have a bunch of adults posing as kings and queens. We're going to keep them young. We're going to raise them up. They're going to help us. We're going to help them. And they're going to lead the parade for next year. So if things go right, we will have a parade next year and every year after that, led by the king and queen of the Malcolm X Festival, in tradition with how the Kuma Festival was done. So we'll have a keynote speaker. I don't know if he's on the line, but we'll have KT, the arts degree, seeing that we're speaking about food today. KT, the arts degree, is one of the brothers, the third, one of the brothers of Red Pill and Blue Pill. People may know them from Another Ledge Radio. We brought KT came down, was it December or January? We had the final summit of the Moors, and he laid it out. He laid it all the way out.
Right.
I would ask people to Google him, YouTube him. You can see some of his videos. He does a lot of breakdowns on films as well. Black Panther, Matrix. You know, he does a thorough job. And if you come to him speak, he's speaking at 3:00. This is all free. Bring a pen and paper because you're gonna need a dictionary and some other stuff to understand what he's talking about. But it's important. He comes from the same line as Dr. Sebi and his Umi, who studied up under him or with him as well. So he's very highly qualified in the information that he puts out. He also has his own line of products as well. KT, the arts degree. So we also going to have our hot superstars in the city performing. We'll have Monica Monet. We'll have Mr. Al Pete. We'll have Janae. We'll have Dove. We'll have Bree and her crew. We will have Dr. Nefertiti Abdullah speaking to the sisters on what they do. We'll have Raylius Thompson, Stop the Madness. He'll be dealing with anger management. I'll be speaking. If there's room for me to speak, I'll go and speak on abandonment, which goes into a lot of things, economic security and some other things in our areas, applicable solutions. So we got a full thing to keep going. And the maestro, the man who's going to keep it moving, is DJ Bernard B. He'll be keeping it going for us throughout the day. Starts at 10, it ends at 6. It's a family affair. We'll have plenty of games and competitions for families and the children. We got the boards out. The chess boards definitely going to be in full effect. I said the chess boards will be in full effect. We got checkers for those who want to play checkers. But yeah, man, we're excited. We'll have a huge tent out this time, so people can just chill out up under the shade out there. And one of the other key elements in having the Malcolm X Festival at Simon Johnson Park is because one thing people don't understand about Jacksonville is Jacksonville has a bunch of beautiful parks and underutilized parks. I mean, it is a park. You can hold your breath till you get to the next park in the city. And our city, this area is right on the border of what we call the Sankofa District, what we talked about earlier. So we want to keep cultural activities, resources, and you know that we'll deal with coming from this park, because you know this area that I live in generally gets a bad rep. And what I want people to know is that it's usually not the people that's in this area; it's the people come from other areas and doing their dirt, or dishing their dirt in this area and leaving. But we're working on it so we can eliminate it. We ain't trying to curb it; we're trying to eliminate it. And we're gonna get it out, but we ain't gonna get it out through the parties and the talking. We gotta put some work in. So
okay, well let me ask you this right here. Now, okay, this is gonna be when The Malcolm X Festival is going to happen when?
This Saturday. May 14th. This Saturday, 10 a.m.
Okay.
Simon Johnson Park, 3730 Moncrief Road.
Okay.
Be there.
All right. Now, if somebody, what about vendors? If somebody want to come out,
the vendors,
is that allowed?
Yeah, the vendors, for the most part, man, we're setting up, asking vendors to just make a donation and come set up. Set up time is at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Try to be on time. I don't try to, I really hate the Negro colored time, so we're on Moorish time, so we're going to be early because we try to be on time, in time, with time. So setup time is at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock. The drums going to get it going. We're going to get the affirmation burning, the incense, hooting and hollering. I like y'all in church, except we're doing it for the ancestors on this continent and the other ones.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, now, okay, let me ask you something. Now, as far as the Malcolm X Festival is concerned, what is the overall objective of what you're trying to achieve by hosting this event?
The overall objective never changed from what Shadidi wanted. We want a culture center. So generally, the money that we would raise will go towards funding our culture center. And we've been diligent in working now. We're working right now to get funds for the culture center. So what happened is the funds that we raise, if we raise any from donations or from the table that we have out there, we will put it towards Sankofa Saturdays that's coming up in June. And generally the money that we spend for Sankofa Saturday goes to make sure we got nice snacks, weekly snacks for our children, and some other things, some other surprises that we got coming up. But the overall objective for this festival is not only to cultivate our culture, but it is to empower the people that are being in this area. Because generally, people in the area, we don't have the cultural events in our area. We have what I call escapism, proms for grown people, play dates and play whatever for adults. Nothing really, which is, I'm not knocking that. That's fine, but we gotta have culture, man. We can't ever forget who we are, and we gotta be specific about what we're doing and what we're targeting. And so it's deliberately the Malcolm X Festival. You know what the man was about. He's been here before. He talked about what took place here in Jacksonville, and so he's a great voice. He left a great legacy for us. So we just, along that spirit, he talked about the international relationships that we need to have with our people on the other continent. So that's one of the things that we also embarking on as well. Not only just in Africa, but Haiti. So it's a lot of things we're doing, and it's in that spirit of El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. So we just hope the people just come out and have a good time. We ain't bashing nobody in the head, but we want to make sure if we do have a large crowd, that why not take the opportunity and teach them or give them information, give them information about health, give them information about economics, give them information about politics. We'll have people out there registering people to vote as well. So, we just try to stay active.
Okay. All right. So, have you gotten any, how's the feedback going about this particular event this time from the general public? What is it looking like? Because we're talking about, today is Monday, and we're talking about Saturday. There's May the 9th, and we're talking about May the 14th. So what the feedback look like?
Man, without sounding too much like an asshole, if I don't really care about feedback, to be honest with you, man. If you're not really like engaged, because this is small, it's the second year. I know some. I don't know. I haven't heard anything, man. I got my head down working, man. I've been working on it.
Well, I know.
Closer person with a few people. So, I mean, only people I hear from are the entertainers. They're looking for their opportunity to get on stage, and that's why it's important to create your own platform. When you create your own platform, you can say anything you want to do. And so, we can't go to, somebody else's festival or engagement and do and operate how we want to operate. So we just operate in our own space and allow people to perform, people that we like, people that we know other people like, and enjoy them like a family. But as far as feedback, I just know people just saying, the entertainers want ready to perform and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Well, I can go along with that, and I know for a fact you got your nose to the grindstone, and you can't do a whole lot of looking out because you too busy making history. So we all already know that for a fact. For those of you who are new, just dialing in, my special guest is Brother Diallo Sekou. So at this point, I would like the listening audience, if you have a question or comment, now's the time to raise your hand. The number to dial into the broadcast is 310-982-4184. That's 310-982-4184. Press 1 on your phone. That'll give me an indication that you have something to say. If I don't see any indication on the phone, then I'm assuming that everybody is taking it in, everybody writing it down, and we roll it. Go ahead, bro.
You know what I want to know? I want to know how many people. Now, I got a nice library. I just left your house for people that saw that first video. That was at your house. I'm back in my office.
Yeah.
But I want to know. I know we got a lot of books, books on culture and dictionaries. But I want to know how many people got books on agriculture. How many people got books on entrepreneurship? But let's go to agriculture since you're dealing with food.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody?
Whoa. Before we go, we got a caller with his hand raised. Let me open up the line. Area code 404. You're on the air. What's your question or comment for our guest?
Peace. This is KT, the Arch Degree. What's going on, brothers?
Hey, man.
Peace.
Welcome.
What's going on? How are you?
Well, we wide open. Let us have it.
Oh, man, hold up. Hey, Tarhaka, I'll take it from here. Relax. I got a question,
okay.
brother.
Come on.
Did you see Captain America?
You already know, man. You know I seen it. I mean, I broke the movie down a year and a half ago. It's on YouTube. The whole film.
You gotta let everybody
I already cracked it.
Y'all gotta let everybody
No.
know. What's going on with that?
I'm talking about this film, the Civil War.
Yeah, I know. You're talking about Captain America: Civil War, Black Panther. I did a Black Panther Decoded 18 months ago, and it turns out that the film happens to touch on the point that I broke down 18 months ago in my presentation, which is on YouTube.
All right, well, give us some cliff notes. We ain't trying to dig all in the YouTube archives right now.
Give it a cliff notes. Well, to make a long story short, there's a deity named Basset or Bast, which is a feline deity. Black cat represents the black sun. The sun is black. The sun is a black force, black energy. That's why the Nazis ended up using that as their symbol. Even in Kemet, the black cat or the cat always represented the fiery energy of the sun. Basset translates into she of the ointment jar, dealing with herbs and compounds because she was responsible for healing the body of the four healing modalities of physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. And we connect this to the Black Panther because he gets his powers through a heart-shaped herb that is made into a poultice that's applied to his body after he goes through his rites of passage. When he crosses over into the spiritual realm, he speaks with Basset. And if anybody watched the movie, when he's sitting down talking to Black Widow, he actually says Basset and Sekhmet. He says it in the film. So that's where he gets his energy from. Wakanda is very interesting that they use that title as the name of his nation because Wakanda is the name of the creator, the omnipotent creator force here in America. We speak a lot on Africa, but our knowledge of our presence here in America, is pretty much, not spoken of much. But if you speak to the indigenous people of this land, the name of their creator, or the name of the creator, is Wakanda. So it's very interesting that the name of his nation is the same name as the creator, and it's where our nation needs to be. That's what we need to live in. That's how we're supposed to occupy our existence, is through the creator. The whole concept of vibranium, represents melanin, because the properties of vibranium is the fact that it's a metal that absorbs all vibration. So if you have a suit made out of it, that means that you can absorb the vibrations of a bullet or a knife or a rocket or whatever, and use that vibration to reinforce the structure of the metal itself. That's what melanin is, because melanin absorbs all frequencies of the electromagnetic spectrum, from radio to gamma, which means it absorbs all vibrations. So that's why he's the king of Wakanda. This is why he's vibranium. This is why he's the Black Cat, or the Black Panther, which translates into Epitimac, which was the lion-headed deity in Upper Kemet of the 25th dynasty, who was the son of Bastet and Ra. So Ra and Bastet had a child. The child is Epitimac. Epitimac is T'Challa. And if you look at the 25th dynasty, you have Shabaka, you have Tarhaka, you have Pianki. These are the same relative dynasties as the Black Panther, handing down that sovereignty from father to son.
So that's a good cliff note. That's a long ass cliff note, but we appreciate that, brother. So listen.
Well, that is quite awesome.
I'm just joking, man.
Said,
my man.
If Casey, you say the suit, right? All right.
Say that again. Say that again.
The suit.
Right. The suit. Right.
Okay. All right. Now, Brother Diallo he already done took care of the suit, because he is telling you to grow your own food, which is organic and stuff like that, which would promote the benefit and gathering and expansion, which you call melanin, high concentrations of carbon, or what have you. So that is quite amazing.
Most definitely.
Let me ask you this, KT, because earlier I mentioned something about, we're talking about, I link basically most of all this disease is based on our dietary intake and the foods that we bring in. So, one of the leading, or what they say is the leading cause of death for us, is heart disease. Talk to us about the heart real quick, because you're going to come this Saturday, May 14th, at the second annual Malcolm X Festival, Jacksonville, Florida, and you're going to talk about what?
I'm going to talk about the heart, because when I think about Malcolm X, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Is an elder, is a force that had more heart than, most that I've experienced in my life. And when we say heart, it sounds philosophical, but it's not. It's physiological, too, because his heart had to be doing a great job in order to reinforce, the power that he was walking with. Now, it all connects to the Black Panther, because like I just said, he got his powers from what? A heart-shaped herb. Why was it called a heart-shaped herb? Why in the movie was every 2 seconds somebody's heart about to get ripped out? Because the heart represents the seat of the soul. It represents the mind. When you look at your heart, it has two bundles of nerve fibers, the AV node and the SA node. The SA node is called the sinoatrial node, known as the pacemaker. What is a pacemaker? A pacemaker is something that times the beating of your heart, meaning your ventricles and atriums, as they're filling up with blood and they're releasing blood back in the body, creating systole and diastole, or the lub-dub sound that you know as the beating of your heart. It sets the rhythm or the pace. If it sets the rhythm of the pace, that means that's your heartbeat. And we say heartbeat every day like it's just some regular term, but what are we really saying? We're talking about our own personal instrumental, our own personal soundtrack, our own personal band, because nobody's heartbeat is the same. That heartbeat is based upon all this blood being pumped in and out this chamber, which is oxygenated blood filled with iron. Anytime you have large quantities of concentrated iron, oxygen on that level being pumped violently in those quick periods of time creates a magnetic field. And this magnetic field comes out from our body, and it's pretty much like an auric field where one person's field can cross into another person's field, and that's how we're able to feel other people's presence or feel the real intention behind people when they're talking, regardless if they're telling the truth or not. We can feel it. Now, if we don't eat correctly, what happens? Blood pressure, problems start going on with your cardiovascular system. What is that going to do? It's going to change your heartbeat. If your heartbeat changes, it's no longer your heartbeat. It becomes another beat. And if you become another beat or another sound, then you're not yourself. You see what I'm saying? So the whole point is to try to get your beat back, and you get your beat back by getting your sinoatrial node or your pacemaker to bring that rhythm back. And the only way that's going to come back is if you're giving your body the foods that are consistent with your genes that allow that healing process to take place.
And speaking of foods, we're talking about something that's heavily in carbon-based type foods.
Right.
Would you say?
Right. Well, I mean, all the foods we're eating is carbon because the reason why we want to have a plant-based diet is because of the process of photosynthesis broken into two parts. One is the oxidation of water, meaning water being split, so oxygen is being released so we can breathe. The second part is carbon fixation, meaning the plant is taking the carbon dioxide or our waste that we exhale from the oxygen we breathe and fixating it into a sugar that coalesces into a fruit that we consume in order to liberate the energy out of. You see?
So I have this conspiracy, man. See, I think when people are talking about joining this plant-based diet thing, let's say, for example, the entire planet went to a plant-based diet. What do you think the corporations would do?
Corporations wouldn't be able to do much of anything anymore because, see, we got to understand that the environment that we live in is exterior. It's an effect. It's an effect on an eternal thing that's going on inside. Once you change what's going on inside, then you're going to change what's projected externally, meaning the problems that we're suffering from are nothing but reflections of the parasites and worms and yeast and fungus and catabolic reactions of decomposition that's occurring inside our body. See, once we change that to synthesis and we turn that into high vibrations and we turn that into building, then when we look outside ourselves in the world around us, there won't be corporations like that around because the dynamic, our universe, our reality will change. So the plant-based diet concept is not just a matter of everybody just like getting a little bit healthy. It's a dynamic that changes the whole paradigm and existence of our reality altogether. Because when we look in antiquity, when we look in modern societies, when we look in science, everything points to the plant. The plant is the most sustainable energy source, and it's one of the most cleanly energy sources here. I mean, the whole concept to be clean, they say, is to go green. You know,
right.
You have a process called phytoremediation where plants and trees and vegetation are utilized to clean polluted environments. So the tree is the answer, the plant is the answer, and when we partake in it, we'll see the change.
So let me ask you a question. You don't think that the corporations would adjust like they've always adjusted? They have to adjust to the needs and the wants and desires or the masses want. So that's what I was asking. You don't think they would adjust?
Yeah, they'll have to bend to the people's will. They'll have to build to what we want. You know, if people go in that direction, into a plant-based diet direction, then they're going to start going into a more nature-oriented direction where the environment that they're living in is conducive to a natural environment, being harmonious with nature. So anything corporations sell or advertise would have to relate to that. Because if it's not, you know, the people ain't going to mess with it. Remember, the earth we live on ain't just a hunk of rock. like it's alive. You know what I'm saying? And as any living being starts to develop and grow, whatever's with it has to grow along with it. If it doesn't, it dies. It's just that simple. You know, so corporate structures that exist will have to bend to the will of the forward movement of nature. If they don't, then they will dry up and flake away like dandruff, like any other dead skin.
So what you think?
Go ahead.
Just for those who just joined, that's KT, the arts degree. He'll be here this Saturday at the second annual Malcolm X Festival. He'll be on at 3 o'clock.
We'll be going in on the heart. I'll be going in on blood pressure, red blood cells, hemoglobin, so people get a better idea of diabetes and the other cardiovascular diseases that occur, blood clots, things of that nature. I just know that when people have a greater awareness of how their body works, then they'll have more confidence in their life when taking care of their body. We spend our time investing energy into other people's dreams and other people's goals, and that takes away from ourselves. And why would we be 40, 60 years old and not know what our spleen does, not know what our liver does, don't know what a thymus gland is for, or how many hemoglobin, or what it does? We need to know how our bodies work, because when we have children and when we create our future through our progeny, we need to be able to tell them how their body works. Our bodies are nothing but utensils for our spirits to use. We can't be a spiritually grounded people if we don't understand how to use our vehicle, you see. So I'm very avid and forward about teaching people how their body works, how the physiology works, and how integrated we are with the plant life, so that we have real-time solutions around us, because our real problem are health problems. Once we rectify our health problems, then a lot of other problems will be fixed based upon the common sense and the intelligence that's in us.
So let me ask you real quick. Give me a brief cliff note. The origin of diabetes and hypertension.
Being that the origin of diabetes.
We know a lot of our people, my age, younger, are suffering from diabetes. Some people, you look at them, they're thin, they have diabetes. You look at them, they're heavy, they have diabetes. Let's talk about that for a second.
All right, so I'll be real quick because I'm about to break out myself. All right, so it's this simple, everybody. All right, first of all, the word diabetes was created because of its connotations of sweetness. Sweet like honey. Why did they do that? Because in the beginning they used to drink your urine, and if it was sweet they would call it diabetes. So diabetes.
Who used to drink what? What?
The doctor used to drink your piss. Doctors were drinking piss, and it was sweet like Kool-Aid. It was like an Arnold Palmer on a hot summer day, man.
How you get diabetes from pee-pee?
Because it was sweet. When they were like, oh, you got enough sugar. I'll put no sugar in here. They'll be like, you got diabetes. That's how it started out. Y'all could all look it up.
Yo,
now,
why were they drinking the pee? I can't get off the pee thing, man.
Why? Hey, man, why do they do a lot of things they do? I'm just gonna let them have it. I'm not even gonna dig any deeper in it. But I'm gonna tell you.
We won't need your blood. We won't need your blood. We want to test your pee first.
From a technical aspect, what's going on with the diabetes is real simple. Okay, you have a side where your pancreas is at, where you are creating insulin. Insulin is a signal. The signal is to let your cells know there's sugar in the blood and to let the sugar in the cell. If you don't have enough insulin being created, your signal isn't strong enough. If a signal isn't strong enough, the receiving end of a signal is not going to be able to pass the message along. So your cell's door stays shut, sugar stays in the blood. If you mix any type of sugar with water in a 98.6 temperature, you get syrup, which creates high blood pressure and makes the heart beat harder, and then you get blood clots, so forth and so on. Diabetes 2 deals with where the signal is going. So maybe you have a strong enough signal. The insulin is being pumped beautifully from the pancreas. But guess what? The receiving end, the cells, that receive the signal need to work properly so that they receive it and be able to tell the cell to open up its doors. So diabetes 2 deals with the receiving end of the cells being destroyed by acidic situations or mucus and not able to receive the insulin signal to let the cell know to open up. So in both cases, it deals with the lack of being able to metabolize large quantities of sugar out of the bloodstream. So that's what diabetes is. And I'll be able to explain that more in detail at the event, and give you a more descriptive analysis. But, yeah, that's what I'm here to do.
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. We ain't got no bombs. We ain't got no bombs to drop.
It's all good. It's all good. KT the Arch Degree. You could find me www.ktthearchdegree.com, and I'm Kamani Tate on Facebook, and you can catch me also on Know the Ledge Radio with my brothers Red Pill and Blue Pill Tuesdays, Fridays 9 to midnight. But yeah, catch me this Saturday in Jacksonville at the Malcolm X Festival. Like I said, I'm talking about the heart, people. That's a very, very important subject. Come learn about your atriums, your ventricles, your blood, your pressure, your systole, your diastole. I'm going to make it real simple. You're going to visually get it, and when you walk away, you'll be able to make better decisions in the future.
One other question. So doctors used to drink pee-pee.
Man, used to. What you talking about used to?
They still do.
They swinging it. What do you think be at the little in their crystal when people come over on the rocks? Yeah, probably some of that. Cup of urea.
Liquid gold, huh?
Liquid gold, baby. Golden showers. That's right. Mayflower.
Oh, wait a minute.
That's right. I do believe. I think SWV had a song called "Rain on Me." I do believe that was a reference to
that was the diabetes song. People didn't even know it. They didn't even know it.
Oh my goodness!
But yeah, I want to thank all of y'all for bringing me on. As I said before, please everybody come out this Saturday in Jacksonville to the Malcolm X Festival as we honor the elder. Like I said, and me thinking about him being, because he was a Taurus. You know what I'm saying? He was a bull, and one thing about bulls is heart, because they got power and force, and that's where the power comes from. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. Please come out and get this information. It's priceless information for you and your family.
All right, my brother.
All right.
We certainly appreciate you being on.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. All right, peace, brothers.
Peace. KT the Arch Degree, Malcolm X Festival. He'll be speaking at 3 o'clock. He's a keynote speaker. 3 o'clock this Saturday.
Right.
Bring your chairs. Come out, lounge. Don't go nowhere. We got food demonstrations by my little sister, Ayana Nakia. She's going to show y'all how to make some good food from vegetables that taste just as good as something from meat or processed foods. Excuse me. So we have workshops. We have lectures. We have competitions, we have games, we have live music, live entertainment, great DJing. It's going to be on, and it's all free, and it's for the community. It's for our children. So what we got, Tarhaka? We got anybody get any questions? Anybody got their hand up?
Well, what I'm going to ask right now, I'm glad you asked that. If anybody got a question or comment, put one on your phone. And open up that will give me an indication that you have something to say. I'll open up the line. For those of you who are new, 310-982-4184 is the number to dial into this broadcast. If you have something to say, if you got a comment, now's the time to press 1 on your phone and open up. I'm looking dead at the switchboard. So if you got something to say, I'll open it up. You can let us know what's going on. Okay? All right. Now, Brother Diallo, they're going to be pushing the button, but I think with so much of powerful information that's being dropped, what people have a tendency to do is just simply listen. They don't want to interrupt us by pressing the button, but that's not the case. What we need to know is your feedback. You got if we're doing a wonderful job, press 1. Just say, hey, you're doing a wonderful job. And if you were just here to get some information, that's all right. So that's what we are here for this evening.
Well,
Now,
they may want to talk about empire. Anybody want to talk about empire or
scandal?
Well,
that was my next question. Tell me exactly what is the Kemetic Empire and what it's all about.
All right. Well, in a nutshell, the Kemetic Empire is a human rights organization, and so we deal with a lot of the political and social injustices that take place in our community. It's the umbrella above Urban Geoponics, Sankofa Saturday, Sankofa Initiative, the Empress and Empresses Club. It's not on paper. It is an strictly organic type of deal. And so the Kemetic Empire is it's unapologetically going to do what it's going to do every day, all day. Not out here to make friends. It's out here so we can get our things right, man, and kick out the brainchild. It's the brainchild of the programs, the institutions that we're building here in Jacksonville. I forgot to mention the Moorish Equity Group as well.
Okay, well, let us
know about
the Moorish Equity Group.
The Moorish Equity Group is a for-profit, it's an LLC. Our main thing is investments, and the primary thing we want to invest in is property, housing, homes, and of course agriculture as well. At this point, I believe you spend $100,000 on some land to grow food for sale. That property is working for you. Versus even if you go and buy $100,000 worth of gold or silver, you still won't get the return that you can get. The return you get with agriculture. So it's just a matter of just keep building and expanding our bases in agriculture, the entrepreneurship paradigms, the different ventures that we're in, the programs, so that we can keep empowering our children to be able to shoot past us intellectually, financially, and every other kind of way, and keep expanding.
Okay, go ahead.
That's it.
All right. Well, now, last but not least, we got to remind everybody of those people who are new that's going to be listening to this broadcast, because we're going to market this everywhere, put it out on YouTube, we're going to put it in LinkedIn, MySpace, Twitter, Dig, everywhere, up on video, all of that. Urban Geoponics. What is it? Because I see you got the hoopies out there, man. Because see, this is what I see. Okay. I see urban geoponics is not only with the food stuff that you're growing on the ground and all of this right here stuff, but I see you with the hoopies up there. You're going to have the fish in the water and all this right here stuff. Could you give us a breakdown on that with these last few minutes? Because we only got a few more minutes to go. Let everybody know what's the future with this thing, man, because this ain't no game.
Well, Urban Geoponics is our 501c3. It's a nonprofit, and the nonprofit is leading the agriculture initiatives that we're doing, which leads into the housing aspect. So right now we got the Newtown Urban Farm, which is a partnership with EWC, and the Newtown Success Zone, which is being headed up by George Maxey. And so he brings us in as a partner, and we bring our few people in as a partner. They bring other people coming in. So after a while, we have a year-round program for children. We'll have a summer program for the local children, the children in the area. We just want to keep expanding on it, and then at the same time, that same area, we'll expand it to an open air market. So those things that take place under the bridge, on the riverside, we'll have in our area doing it our way, so that we can bring a certain energy, not only a positive energy from the work that we do every Sunday as a group, but the financial energy that we bring. You have people coming behind EWC to spend money after church, before church. Don't go to church, or just come and hang out. People come out to vend. We want to bring that energy. We want to be able to expand on that. So the same thing, like we do that in that particular area, which is 3rd and Pierce, then we'll be able to expand that out block by block. Habitat is one of our part. Habitat for Humanity is one of our partners. They'll be building a appreciate the flower. I don't know what the flower is about. That's something new, but they'll be building a gazebo, which will be our learning center for our students under urban geoponics and the students for EWC as well to do their research. And then urban geoponics is going to be building a gazebo for the cooking. So, we can always, like if we out there, we're doing straight from the farm to the table, or farm to the glass, farm to my mouth, whatever. But that'll be a station where we'll be able to cook, and it'll be running off solar energy. So we also have out there, like a 25, 30-foot long trench. We'll be doing hydroponics, which is when you have a pool of water, right? This would be the water will be in here along this way, and then we'll put on top styrofoam, which have holes in it, and those inside those holes will go what's called startlings. Startlings, when you grow that seed and it gets about this long, then you put it inside of the styrofoam holes, and the root goes directly into the water, which is filled with nutrients, and the oxygen is moving in as well. It's filtering the system. So the roots, the way hydroponics works, the nutrients in the water go directly to the root system. It doesn't have to come from the soil and then seep down. So it goes directly from the root up to the plant. And so it allows you to have a quicker crop cycle, which helps out for commercial, the commercial aspect or agribusiness. So we can be able to move it, we can turn the crops, and then we can move them out, we can sell them. And this is one of the other things, too, with the children that are helping us, those boys and those girls that are out there with us every Sunday. It's my hope that they'll become our worker partners. So I want to make them business partners in every aspect of what we're doing out there in that one particular area. So right now they're in high school, they're in middle school, even elementary. My son's in elementary. So all of them, my hope is within a short time that they'll all be business owners and part of what we're doing in the agriculture, because people don't realize that people have to eat every day. There's a huge market in food, and we don't control not one bit of it. Ask the black farmers what the problem is. So here's another fact. In the next 40 years, the food growing systems have to change. This is the change. Get on board right now. Start growing your food. Let's get in business. Let's do it. Let's empower each other. People don't get into it because it seems dirty. It's not as glorious. But guess what? Those grocery stores you shop at every week, somebody got to grow that food. Why not you? Right? Why not distribute it? Why not move it out throughout the country? People want it. Instead of bringing food in, we help the local economy when we grow and sell that food to the local sheriffs, to the local restaurants, to the local grocery stores, to the local citizens of the area. That's us. We help them do that. All of us can help do that. We shift the paradigm when we stop putting fertilizers and all that crap inside the ground for that food to grow. When all you got to do is go into the moon cycles. Know what you're doing. Get into it. That's what the almanac is about. The almanac is based off the horoscope. Horoscope comes out of ancient Africa, the Temple of Dendera. That's all of us. The first god of agriculture, Asar, who they call Osiris, the green one. That's what he represented. The green represented transformation. So these are things, and he had a sister, his wife, Heru. I'm sorry, not Heru, Isis. So all of that stuff plays a part of agriculture, man. We just got to get into it, tap back into the earth, and understand the business aspect, not just be all spooked out, energy, vibrations about it, but understand the business aspect, because we're losing. When it came to business, we were not at the table, and there's plenty of opportunities, and it's never too late to get our children involved, get everybody's children involved. Even if the parents are dumb assholes, bring them with us. We'll take care of them. Let's get them in. Let's get them in this business. Let's get them in this understanding nature, understanding their nature, understanding the responsibilities, understanding business. All this comes out of agriculture. And then from there, we expand into the housing market. Or simultaneously, we are expanding into the housing market. These are opportunities for these children as well to run a management company, to run the house themselves. This is all we want to do. So that's part of what we're doing on the ground with the agriculture piece. And since we're here, we'll be going back to Flint, Michigan in June, right before Sankofa Saturdays. This will be our third trip. What we're going to do this time is we're just going to take a van of volunteers. We're going to ride out. We're going to get up there. We'll purchase the water up there and then distribute it door to door versus purchasing a huge truck here, and it's like over $1,000 to get the truck up there and back. So what we'll do is we just take a van, go up, and go to Flint. And, people need to keep their attention on Flint, Michigan when it comes to the water thing. And, it's all state politics when it comes to nothing federal, nothing Obama can do. He can drink all the damn water he wants to. Governor Snyder, it was his issue. They pulled a cord on that situation when it came to those people in Flint. And people need to understand Flint, too. Flint is almost 50-50 when it comes to the population. So it's not a predominantly like Detroit of our people. It's a mixed community.
Okay.
Malcolm X Festival.
All right.
This Saturday, baby, May 14th, 10 o'clock. It goes of thunder. Opening ceremony. Bring them babies.
All right, my brother. Are you gonna be DJing too? So you sound like you can do that thing.
Listen, man, I'm gonna be rolling dice on that Monopoly board. I see my man Nathan is on here. Nathan told me that it made sense how, Monopoly is really a 1%er game. Who else would name an illegal board game Monopoly? Because it's illegal.
Okay.
Anyway, I like
well,
Monopoly,
let me ask you this before you run now.
Okay.
How can folks that listen to your broadcast, listen to this broadcast, how can folks get a hold of you? How can they touch bases with you? You know you're on Facebook, you know where you are, but we need you to tell them how best to get a hold of you if they got some serious stuff going on. Because you already came across tonight as we ain't playing, so don't call me with no junk. If you're serious or whatever, how can the folks get a hold of you, man?
You can call me 706-284-9808. 706-284-9808. Every Sunday at 10 o'clock, we are at 3rd and Pierce. Except this Sunday. This Sunday, we're taking this Sunday off. But, we'll go out there and water it. But this Sunday, we're not looking for anybody to come out. But every Sunday at 10 o'clock, we're at 3rd and Pierce behind Edward's College, Jacksonville, Florida. You can go to the website, urbangeoponics.org, or you can go to thecomedicempire.com. So I'm on Facebook, Diallo Sekou, but it ain't about me. It's about the group. It's about the organizations, man. So, we looking for people that's serious, not really a whole bunch of talking unless, we can talk about how to bring resources and finances to continue these efforts and keep our babies safe and warm and fed. So we let the talks talk, man, and the doers do. Y'all come on ride with us. We ready to ride out.
Okay, my brother. Well, what I'm going to do, because I know you had a long day, I'm going to bring this thing down. And what we're going to be doing is getting ready for that. And for those of you who have heard this broadcast, you can contact the brother at the information that they've given you. And I certainly appreciate you being on here, man.
Hey, Talk, I appreciate the platform, brother, and the opportunity to come out and speak about what we're doing, man. And people need to tune in to Tarhaka Amana El Bay also. He has a plethora of information and solutions that people have been looking for. So make sure y'all tune into his blog talks and check them out. Tarhaka Amana El Bay.
All right. Well, I thank you, man. On the 15th of May, which is after the Malcolm X Festival on the 15th of May, which will be that Sunday, we got Dr. Walter Williams to be on our broadcast, and we're going to be dealing with what happened down in Ethiopia involving Christianity and where the Fallacious Jews come from to make sure that y'all catch this broadcast. But anyway, my brother, I'm going to shut it down, and I certainly appreciate you being on here. And until next time, we'll be back on to give updates and stuff and let everybody know what we're going to be doing next, because I got a whole lot of people calling me talking about, man, when y'all going to be doing the next summit? And I'm like, well, this was, we told you this was the last one, so what we're going to have to do, man, and this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to have another one and call it something else, as long as we put it 411 down so our people can get it. So, either way, how we figure out how we going to do it, it's up to you.
Well, here's the thing, man. See, who was I talking to today? Who was telling me this? You know, it's like people are waiting for stuff, man. Fuck all that waiting. I'm going to be honest with you. Stop waiting for shit. Stop waiting for Hidden Color 16 and 13. Stop waiting for the next summit. Stop waiting for another debate, man. Get y'all ass out in the street. What y'all doing in y'all area, man? Get busy where y'all at. Stop waiting on shit. I told you that was the last summit. Why? Because you didn't do anything previously to the summit. You got the information, you went back to where you was at, and you did the individualistic thing. You didn't do a collective. You felt, I could do that over here. Why join with them? You know, why incorporate 49 other states so they can do business throughout the country and then move abroad? Y'all ain't getting it, so forget it. We're looking for those who want to move as a collective. We need economic security. That's why I said it'll move into a master's class. Master class is going to drop nothing but what needs to be dropped. Ain't no filters. You want the master class? We bring it. Get off your ass. Let's get to work. Let's be God. God off in these streets, man. Stop waiting for a class, man. Stop keep talking. Y'all get in the class. When the hell y'all going to graduate and go apply what it is you know? You always want to talk and read a book, sound deep. Man, go dig in the dirt and go grow something, man. Get them babies out there, teach them how to grow some food, how to open up a business. So I'm talking about May 14th, man, by any means necessary. Malcolm X Festival.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that last question must have made him mad. But anyway, we're going to close it down. I've been your host, Tarhaka LB. You heard what the brother said. He ain't lying. We got to get it going, okay? Until next time. Ooh, well, all right. Ooh, started out just talking, just something to do. You developed feelings for me, and I started falling for you. Too long don't make a right, but it sure make it good. If I could turn back the hands of time, I don't know if I would. Well, you can't have who you like, and when you like them, well, I'm in this situation now, and I don't know what to do. I'm in love with a married woman. She's in love with a married man. Even though I can't see you when I want to see, then I can see you when I can. I'm in love with a married woman. She's in love with a married man. Yeah. Even though I can't see you when I want to see you, then I can see you when I can. Well, I done tried to leave this woman alone. All the sneaking around is tearing up my home. She checking phone records and smelling my clothes, trying to see if I got a sense that I didn't leave home with it. But if we get caught, then baby we could lose it all. But I'm willing, baby, to risk it, 'cause I'm in love with a married woman. She's in love with a married man. Yeah, even though I can't see you when I want to see you, and I can see you when I can. I'm in love with a married woman. She's in love with a married man. Even though I can't see you when I want to see you, then I can see you when I can. Well, I done found myself a lady,
one that I can't leave alone. I can't leave her alone. We gotta keep this thing shaded, so it won't mess up my home. No, baby. And baby, you got something to lose. You got something. Maybe just as much as me. Maybe just as much as me. So if we keep this thing between us, then maybe we can be happy. Yeah. This feels too right to fight, and you're too cute to lose. If you ever left me, I should have sang the blues. 'Cause I'm in love with a married woman. She's in love with a married man. Yeah. Even though I can't see you, then I can feel when I can. 'Cause I'm in love with a married woman. She's in love with a married man. Even though I can't see you and I wanna see, then I can feel when I can. I'm in love with a married woman. With a bad situation. She's in love with a married man. Even though I can't see you and I wanna see, then I can feel when I can. I'm in love with a married woman. Married man. Don't know what to do. Even though I can't see you and I wanna see, yeah, then I can see you when I can. Tell I'm in love with a married woman. She's in love with a married man. Even though I